ladies and gentlemen, if you guys thought that Monday Night Raw was the following: boring, mediocre, bland, and you fell asleep at some point during the show, I want you guys to hit that like button as hard as you possibly can. Now, don't mind the shirt that I'm wearing right now, because I know this is a WWE show review. I'm wearing an AEW t-shirt, as you guys see right here. I'm wearing an AEW t-shirt while reviewing a WWE show. Now, people will tell me, Chris, why are you wearing an AEW t-shirt when you're reviewing a WWE show? What's wrong with that? Huh? What's wrong with that? If I want to wear an AEW t-shirt, watching TV or being on the channel and reviewing Raw or any other World Wrestling Entertainment show, I'm going to do as I please to do. You going to stop me? No. If you guys are enjoying also, if you guys love my AEW t-shirt, also hit that like button, please. Hit that like button as well. I'm going to sit here and be honest with you folks. I really am. I really am. You would just sit there and ask me, Chris, did you enjoy Monday Night Raw tonight? No. Outside of AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship, what else happened on this show? Nothing. I tweeted out on Twitter, Rey versus AJ was 100% match of the night. Match of the night. The crowd was mostly alive for that match. That's it. Outside of Rey versus AJ, what else happened on this show? What, Rollins turning heel? Did Rollins really turn heel? I don't know. I really don't know if Rollins really turned heel. People were telling me on Twitter, oh, Chris, Rollins did turn heel. Where? The opening segment or during the end of the fucking show when fucking AOP attacked Kevin Owens? Rollins turned heel? On what part of the show? I don't recall Rollins turning heel. Yeah, I may have told my group chat, yeah, Rollins turned heel, but then I forgot. Where? Where did he turn heel at? The opening segment or in the end of the show? You guys tell me. If you guys saw Seth Rollins, quote unquote, turn heel, leave it in the comment section what part of the show that Rollins turned heel. Just let me know at that point in the comment section. But I'm going to sit here and again be honest with you. Survivor Series was the better show than Monday Night Raw. No question. No fucking question. This show tonight, and another thing that bothered me on this show tonight, NXT won overall last night at the Survivor Series. Why aren't you pushing NXT? Why aren't you mentioning NXT? I mean, they did mention at some little point during the show. The crowd was chanting NXT. They barely promoted NXT on this show tonight. They barely did. You know what that is, folks? It's the AEW effect, folks. See, I told you this shirt came in handy. I told Jessica, babe, this shirt will come in handy. And whenever I mention the AEW effect, I just got to do this. I just got to do that. I'm not even going to sit here and go negative on the show. There was one good part on this show. Two maximum good parts on this show. Outside of that, what happened on the show tonight? I was playing on my Switch for the remaining of the show until AOP came out. The only time I wasn't the only time I wasn't on my Switch was when AJ and Rey fought for the US title. The match was fantastic. The ending was great. Outside of that, like I said, what the fuck happened on the show tonight? Nothing. Now you gotta build towards TLC now. Now you gotta build towards TLC. And I guarantee you TLC will be rematch galore at TLC. I guarantee you on December 15th. Guarantee you. We're gonna go over everything on this show. On this boring, bland, lackluster, mediocre episode of Monday Night Raw. And mind you, this show was in fucking Chicago. I tweeted this out on Twitter. The reason why the crowd was so dead tonight during Monday Night Raw. They're waiting for AEW Dynamite to show up on Wednesday night with the Chris Jericho Let Thanksgiving Champion Celebration. And then we got Jericho versus Scorpio Sky for the AEW World Championship on Dynamite on Wednesday night. I bet you everybody in Chicago that was in the Allstate Arena watching the show tonight was waiting for Wednesday night. Now, although it's fucking Thanksgiving Eve, I guarantee you that AEW Dynamite and NXT will suffer in ratings on Wednesday night. Guarantee you. Because people got to prepare for Thanksgiving. They got to prepare the fucking turkey and the yams and fucking all the food. Everything else they got to prepare for Thursday. We're going to go over everything here on the show on what was a lackluster episode of Monday Night Raw right here on the Reality Podcast. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on this Monday, November 25th, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys thought that Raw was just boring, lackluster, just sleep-inducing, fucking bland as hell, hit that like button, please. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of Raw tonight. TM, I know you're watching. TM, I know you're watching. And you wasn't watching Raw. I don't blame you at this point, TM. I don't blame you at all. Raw, if I had to give this show a 1 through 10, Raw being 1 being the worst and 10 being the greatest show of all time, according to the idiots of fucking social media that's going to say, oh, Raw was a good show tonight, I'm going to give this show at least a 4. A 4. That's my best one, a 4. Don't know why, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, obviously, I'll give 1 point with the AJ Ray match. Fantastic. 2, we got AOP. 3, Matt Hardy. It's good seeing Matt Hardy tonight. And 4, we're getting the feud with Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. Those are my 4 points. Those are my whole 4 points. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw tonight. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. We are on the road to 200 subs right here on the channel. Survivor Series reviews live on the channel right now. Was this the best main roster pay-per-view of 2019? My answer to that question is yes. Survivor Series review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. Also, check out NXT review from this past Wednesday. NXT reviews live on the channel right now. Raw, SmackDown, and NXT have another brawl before Survivor Series. With also, I give you guys my NXT TakeOver War Games preview and prediction. Speaking of TakeOver, I will give you guys my NXT TakeOver War Games review tomorrow. So expect that live on the channel somewhere around 4 to 5 p.m. tomorrow with NXT TakeOver War Games review. I just finished watching the show earlier before Raw started, and my God, it just got better and better and better every single time. NXT reviews live on the channel. And I'll link to this video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. Check out AEW review for this past Wednesday as well with Flash Champion Chris Jericho, the AEW World Champion. A little bit bubbly. That I will be having on Thursday. A little bit of the bubbly. AEW Dynamite reviews live on the channel right now. Scorpio Sky gets a shot at Le Champion. This week, well, next week is this week actually, on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Link to AEW review will be in the annotation above that you see in the upper hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are following your boy Chris on social media. Cyrex, if you're watching, I need a new banner, bro. I need a new banner. If you guys aren't following me on social media, please do so. Follow me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, Chris was hated. And like I said, folks, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Monday Night Raw tonight was at the quote-unquote sold-out Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Day 4 of 4 in Chicago. Raw next week will be in Nashville, Tennessee next week. I guarantee you, we see Kane at some point next week because he's the mayor of Tennessee. Guarantee you, at some point next week, we see Kane. Guarantee you. So Raw opens with the entire Raw roster around the ring with a black-clad Seth Rollins, heel colors. I want you guys to think about this. When somebody's wearing black, as in a suit and shit, you're a heel. You're a fucking heel. Unless Seth Rollins' favorite color is black, then God bless you. So Raw opened up with the entire Raw roster around the ring with a black class Seth Rollins standing in it. The fans chant CM Punk, to which Seth says, listen, I tried to get him here, but he's more interested in sitting behind a desk in Los Angeles than being in this ring. He moves on and says tonight is all about the Raw roster. Fans chanted CM Punk in Chicago, typical Chicago crowd, which I love. Because Chicago is a fucking smart crowd in all of wrestling. Which I forgot AEW will be at on Wednesday night at the Sears Center. Can't wait for that show. Anyways, so the crowd chanted CM Punk, and Rollins said, listen, I tried to get him here, but he's more interested in sitting behind a desk in Los Angeles than being in this ring. Folks, if you don't know by now, Punk is a Fox employee. He does not work for WWE. For people like fucking Soda Pop and everybody else in the community that thinks that CM Punk works for WWE. No, he doesn't. Punk also revealed last week on Backstage he has not spoke to WWE. And at this point, Punk, I don't blame you. Don't. Because if you fucking sign with the company, you're going to be fed straight to Seth Rollins. And nobody wants to see a CM Punk Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania. I don't. Honestly with you, I don't. There's many guys that I would much rather see go in the ring with than CM Punk. There's much more guys than I could see with fucking Punk. More guys there. Moving on here. So he moves on and says tonight is about the Raw roster. The fans chant NXT, and Seth says tonight he agrees that last night NXT mopped the floor with Raw. And don't forget SmackDown either. And that makes him sick because he loves Monday Night Raw. Now we're getting social media Seth Rollins here on live television on Monday Night Raw. This is facts. This is nothing but fucking facts. Now, Rollins forgot to mention the only Raw victory they got last night was with the Viking Raiders when they had the fucking triple threat tag team match on the pre-show last night. Yeah, you heard me right. The only victory Raw had last night was in the pre-show. 60% of the victories went to NXT and the 40% went to SmackDown. Raw had 0% of winning on fucking Survivor Series Sunday last night. He grew up watching Raw, people like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, DX, and many more. Raw is better than that. However, it has to be said, and he's sorry, but everyone standing out in the ring sucked last night. Wait, what, Rollins? What you said? You said, however, it has to be said, and he's sorry, but everyone standing around the ring, sucked last night. Is that heel words from Seth Rollins himself? Is that heel-like words I'm hearing from the Beast Slayer himself, Seth Rollins? Ooh, okay, I guess. The fans boo, and other superstars look confused. I mean, you guys have not won a fucking match on the main show last night. There you go. The fans chant, "You suck." Like I said, typical smart Chicago crowd, which I fucking love. I love Chicago. Seth says he knows they all dropped the ball. He says they went from the A show to the C show. I'm glad you know, Mr. Seth Rollins. I'm glad to know about the fact that Raw is the C show. Same difference. C show. The C show. They need to get back out there and plant the flag for Raw, so give him a damn minute. Seth says he believes in Monday Night Raw. I don't know why you would. This show fucking sucks every single week. Which is why he called this meeting, this town hall meeting, to kick off Raw. He asked anyone if they want to speak, but nobody does. Seth picks up Randy Orton and says he was the weak link last night. Oh, damn. Really? Orton stares at Seth, then leads up the ramp. If you guys didn't pay attention, excuse me, Orton was leaving. He was doing this. If you guys haven't watched Orton leave and he did this, go back to it. That's what he did to Seth Rollins. Jerk off. Orton was technically calling Rollins a jerk off without calling him a jerk off. Jerk off. Clown. Orton stares at Seth, then leaves off the ramp. Seth tells him that's fine. He'll do all himself. Orton makes a jack off sign at Rollins. There you go, the jack off sign. Jack off, jerk off, whatever. Next, Seth calls out Charlotte, the queen herself, and says she was supposed to be the leader last night, but she wasn't even the sole survivor in the match. And she calls herself a Flair. The way Rollins said that had me giggling just a little bit. And you're supposed to call yourself a Flair. I'm telling you, man. Charlotte flicks her hair and walks off. Seth motions to the officers of pain and says they weren't at Survivor Series last night. Excuse me. But maybe they should have. He says they've been talking non-stop for weeks, but they weren't there last night, and they definitely don't need them tonight. Yeah, sure, Rollins. Yeah, sure. He tells the AOP to leave. Rollins points the finger at Rey Mysterio and says he let us down last night more than anyone last night. How? Can I ask how? And I'm thinking to myself, Rey did not compete in a Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT match last night. So how can you blame Rey for this? He says Rey couldn't get the job done with a lead pipe and his dumb son. Those are his words. The entire Raw roster then leaves, and Seth berates them, say he's the only one with the guts to call it like it is. Kevin Owens stays. Owens is staying on the apron, and the crowd's going nuts. They chant his name, KO. Seth says his name is Mr. NXT, then ushers Owens into the ring. Rollins says that this isn't about him. He loves Raw. He eats, sleeps, and breathes Monday Night Raw. I'm not surprised you don't shit Raw either, but you do that on social media. But what does Owens do? He just shows up and he's a lazy piece of crap. He says Owens wants the spot. He wants to be Seth Rollins, but he'll never be Seth Rollins. Rollins takes a step back and says he didn't mean that. He's coming from a good place. What good place? Raw's a good place? Yeah, sure. Owens doesn't say anything. He just hits Seth with a stunner and then leaves. And that's the end of the opening segment for Monday Night Raw. Now, I think this was the part where Rollins turned heel. I don't know. If you guys know what part where Rollins turned heel, please sound off in the comment section down below, because I have no idea where on what part Rollins turned heel. I don't know. I have no idea, but the opening segment was, it was alright for what it was. It could have been better. It could have been really better if fucking Rollins legitimately turned heel. I mean, by the way he was talking to like Orton and Charlotte and AOP and Mysterio, I'm guessing he turned heel. I'm guessing he did. That's what I'm guessing here. The best thing for Rollins to do right now is to turn heel. I think the only way that would save his career low-key, it's not even low-key at this point. The only way it will save Seth Rollins' career is if he turns heel. Turn him heel. And I'm here thinking to myself, if this does not lead to a Seth Rollins heel turn, then what the fuck are we doing here to kick off the show? Why is this town hall meeting even happening? If Rollins doesn't turn heel in the beginning of the show, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? That's what I got from here. That's what I got. So we're on a commercial break. We come back for commercial break. So Rollins is backstage and Charlie Caruso, Bay at my point, approaches him. She says he didn't get what he wanted, and Seth says he was doing the right thing, trying to get the Raw train back on track. It was never on track. It was staying in the fucking station permanently. But clearly Kevin Owens doesn't agree with him. So tonight they meet in the ring. That's a challenge. So Rollins challenges KO to the main event of Monday Night Raw. WrestleVotes tweeted something earlier in the day before Raw started. Then he got a tweet from a source saying, now let me look for the tweet here. Let me look for the tweet. I just had it on my phone. WrestleVotes tweeted this 9 hours ago. This was tweeted at 2:25 p.m. earlier today. WrestleVotes tweeted, text from a source just now, it's all I know at the moment, so ... And the picture was shown saying, tonight's show has a real chance to be something with the eyes going like this. Where was that happening tonight at this point of the show? That's what I was thinking. So we go to Bob Lashley with Lana in his corner versus Titus O'Neil. When it comes to Titus, and I got to give a shout out to Oscar City RP on Twitter for tweeting me this. Bobby Lashley and Lana reach for the remote control. Hashtag get off my TV. That's what it says right here. Get off my TV. There you go. Oscar City RP, if you're watching, girl, shout out to you, girl. Shout out to you. Thank you for tweeting me that earlier. It made my entire night on Twitter. Made my entire night. That one tweet that she sent me made my entire night. I couldn't stop laughing for the majority of the entire match. I couldn't stop laughing. So we get Bob Lashley and Lana versus Titus O'Neil. Bobby Lashley wins by DQ. I mean, do you even care about this match? Do you even care about the fucking storyline? No? Good. Good answer. Right answers only. Right answers only. Bobby Lashley wins by DQ. This was, I'm going to have to say this now, out of all the segments that Lashley, Lana, and Rusev did, this was good. This was the best moment in this entire storyline. I said this on Twitter. Rusev kicks Lashley from the ring, then pounds him on the floor. Rusev tosses Lashley onto the steel steps, then into the barricade. Rusev drags Bobby up the ramp and slams him into the LED wall. Rusev then clears the top of the announcer's table before yelling at Lana. Rusev climbs onto the announce table, but then he's dragged up by police because he had a restraining order before he even entered the building. He had a restraining order. Rusev is handcuffed on the stage as Lana screams at him and consoles Lashley. Rusev breaks free from the police, resisting arrest at this point, runs and shoulder tackles Lashley off the stage through some tables. Fans chanting Rusev Day. Rusev Day rings throughout the arena as Rusev kicks off a huge lightning rig onto Lashley. Huge pop for Rusev, who shouts, "I'm back." This was low-key fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you, this was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was fun. It's fun how Rusev resisted arrest and shit just to get back at Lashley. It reminded me with fucking Stone Cold and Vince McMahon back in the fucking Attitude Era. I'm not saying that was better. I'm not saying this was better than what Austin and Vince did. I'm not saying this was better, but it was fun for what it was, man. It was really fun for what it was. It wasn't that bad to me, in my honest opinion. So the backline, we see replays of Rusev being arrested. There's footage from the commercial break where Lashley was put on a stretcher and taken to the back. Oh, cry me a river. Cry me a fucking river. I said this on social media. I'm gonna say it again. If you are invested in this storyline, in this Rusev, Lana, Bobby Lashley cuckold storyline, you are the biggest virgin in this fucking community. I stand by those words every single time. Overall, the storyline is fucking boring and terrible. You're wasting Rusev's time because why? He won't resign with WWE. And I guarantee you, once Rusev resigns with the company, they're going to bury him even more. Guarantee you that happens. We get AOP. Holy shit, we got the AOP tonight on this episode of Raw. They go up against Hawkins and Ryder, former Raw Tag Team Champion. This was a quick match. AOP wins with the Super Collider followed by a Powerbomb Neckbreaker combo for the victory. AOP wins over Hawkins and Ryder. This is good for AOP. Not only did I win that Raw, which is not that good. I'd rather have them back on NXT where they need tag teams in the freaking NXT. Not only this is good for AOP. You want to build them up as a dangerous force. I would love to see AOP versus the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team titles. I would love to see that match. I really would. I would pay money to go see that match. I really would. I would pay money to see that matchup. All does a pain win and then return in-ring action on Monday Night Raw. We got Andrade Cien with Selena Vega versus Akira Tozawa. Can I just ask, why is Andrade not a world champion at this point? Andrade has been on the main roster for what, a year and a half, 2 years? I believe about a year and a half. Closer to 2 years he's been on the main roster. And he hasn't won a single title yet in WWE. Can we fix that, please? Like, now? Can we fix that, please? Andrade is too good to be wasted on the main roster. He's too good to be wasted. Too good to be wasted. I just want to know, why is he not a world champion at least? Why is he not a US champion? Why is he not a WWE champion? Or at least the Universal champion when he was on Raw. Or at least the Intercontinental champion when he was on SmackDown. I don't know, folks. You tell me. I don't know. Yo no sé. I don't know. You got Andrade versus Akira Tozawa. I guess. That's how I felt about this. Andrade wins with the Hammerlock DDT. Hammerlock DDT for Andrade. He gets the victory over Akira Tozawa. Moving on with the show. We see Aleister Black sitting in a dark room by himself, and he talks about Buddy Murphy. Now, this is a feud that I can get behind 100%. I hope we get this match at TLC. Hope we do. With something important on the line, at least. Please. He asked if Murphy knows what he did when he knocked on his door last week. Well, tonight he knows Buddy has a match, and he plans on collecting. Of all people, Matt Hardy comes out to a big pop. This was a nice surprise. We got Matt Hardy out here in a really nice surprise with a big pop. I think he got the biggest pop of the entire night, in my honest opinion, coming into this point of the show. It's regular old Matt Hardy to boot, and he'll be in action against Buddy Murphy after the commercial break. Now, this was a nice surprise that Matt Hardy's back, at least in a singles role. But he desperately needs Jeff, man. I hope Jeff is doing better with this whole, DUI under the influence thing. Like, I know Jeff is still battling his demons, but I hope he comes back. Like, Jeff is desperately needed, especially on Monday Night Raw. He's desperately needed. He's desperately needed here, folks. He really is. So we got Matt Hardy against Buddy Murphy. This match is okay for what it was. It wasn't that bad. It was okay for the time that they got here. Buddy Murphy wins here. Murphy tosses Hardy from the ring, then forearms him in the back, then tosses him into the barricade. Murphy says him back inside and heads up top. Nobody's home for Murphy, and Hardy catches him with a side effect, which I still love, by the way, when it comes to Matt Hardy with the side effect. Hardy looks for the Bulldog, but gets shoved off. Matt connects with an elbow from the middle rope. He performs the delete taunt that looks for the twist of fate, but Murphy counters with a switch knee. Murphy hits a running knee against the ropes and another one in the middle of the ring for the pinfall. So Buddy Murphy wins. Buddy gets on a microphone and calls out Aleister Black, ask and you shall receive. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Black runs into the ring and slides inside. Buddy swings, but Black blocks it and kicks him. Spinning back elbow from Black, followed by a tip kick into the ropes and a switch knee of his own. Murphy falls out of the ring and walks out and walks around it, holding a bloody nose from the match with Matt Hardy. Buddy teases getting back into the ring, but decided against it. I can get behind this feud. And listen, I know that Aleister Black has been miscast. He's been misused on the main roster. He's been on the main roster since WrestleMania. I think since WrestleMania. He's been on the main roster since WrestleMania. The fact that Raw is not using him really does surprise me. I mean, at the same time it doesn't, because look, it's fucking Monday Night Raw. I hope in 2020, Black gets at least a push in 2019. I hope to God he gets a push because Jesus Christ. The main roster right now, NXT is killing the main roster right now. It's been like that for the last couple of years. And I'm gonna say this right now: if you're not gonna plan to push guys like Aleister Black or Andrade, send them back down to NXT. Because I know for a fact you're not gonna release them. Because if you're gonna release them, they're gonna go to AEW. They'll be more important in AEW. At least send them down to NXT. That's the least you can do. Because right now, you're having guys like Andrade and Aleister Black win matches. You're having both of them on TV, but you're not having them in a big role. And to be honest with you, you want to look at Team Raw last night after Survivor Series? Why didn't you use Aleister Black? Why didn't you use Aleister Black for Team Raw last night? If I was to book Team Raw for last night, I would have took out... What was the one guy I would have took out? I would have took out Ricochet. Low key. I would have took out Ricochet and put in Aleister Black. Ricochet barely did anything last night at the Survivor Series. Can you imagine Aleister Black on Team Raw last night? Or on Andrade for Team Raw? Maybe they could have won the men's 5-5-1-5-1-5 match last night. But look what happened. You want to put them in the back burner and shit, and you still lost last night. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? But this is a feud that I can certainly get behind. I hope we get this match at TLC. Hope we do. Keep our fingers crossed here. We get this match at TLC in December. Moving on to the show here. Charlotte Caruso Bay is backstage as she talks to the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Caruso asks if Flair's behavior last night was befitting of a captain. Charlotte laughs and says she's never claimed to be a leader, a team player. She was the only person capable of leading Team Raw. As for Asuka, Charlotte says that Asuka is still bitter from when she took her SmackDown Women's Championship last spring and from WrestleMania 34 when she ended her undefeated streak, 914 days. Now Asuka wants to try and blind her. Well, tonight she reminds her why she is the 10-time Women's Champion. Moving on here with the show. Raw returned from commercial break with replays of tonight's opening with Seth Rollins' heel turn. So there you go. I think Rollins turned heel from the opening segment of the Town Hall meeting on Monday Night Raw. AJ Styles comes to the ring alone for his U.S. Championship defense against Humberto Carrillo. The OC come out when Humberto Carrillo makes his entrance and attacks him. They beat him down at ringside, slamming him into the apron, the steps, and then hitting the Magic Killer on the steps. Ricochet comes up to check on Carrillo. Styles sarcastically says, "You're welcome, Chicago." Thank you, AJ. Thank you. AJ says Humberto clearly can't compete tonight, which is really unfortunate. He mocked Ricochet, saying he clearly isn't much of a superhero. Last night, from what Jessica told me, watching Monday Night Raw, Ricochet was dressed up like Ant-Man last night. Tonight, he's dressed up as fucking Captain Marvel. Ricochet says that AJ is a shell of his former self. He's then degraded to sizzling his goons on everyone who threatens their title reign. And I gotta put my fucking iPad to charge. It's on fucking 5%. There you go. Anyways. But he would be more than happy to relieve him of that burden and face him for the United States Championship. Styles says no. He signed a contract to face Humberto and he can't compete. So he won't be wrestling tonight. Randy Orton comes out and says Humberto can't compete tonight, but he certainly can. And he reckons there is nothing Chicago wants to see more than him RKO his ass. Styles says, and this is what I like what AJ said. This is what I like from what AJ said. AJ says the last time he faced Randy Orton, it was in a bigger and better city under the bright lights of WrestleMania. He's beaten both of them on multiple occasions, so he has nothing to prove. Drew McIntyre comes walking out and says he has a solution. AJ has never faced him, and he's pinned both Braun Strowman and Walter last night, which still bugs me, by the way. Drew says that Chicago doesn't deserve the match, but it's a first-time affair, and they should do it tonight. Styles says that he stole the show last night, and he's sore. Typical heel excuse there. Typical heel excuse. Then Rey comes out, and at this point, I'm just confused. Rey makes his entrance and says he is more banged up than anybody after fighting Brock Lesnar last night in that fantastic match last night. Mysterio says AJ is making excuses, but he won't let him cheat the good people of Chi-Town out of a title match. AJ says none of them has earned anything. They all want a title shot, but he declines. Ricochet says he's the new guy around here, but how about the four of them face off with the winner getting a title shot at AJ's title? AJ turns to his goon to say it's a bad idea, but they both think it sounds entertaining. Of course it's entertaining. So AJ agrees to it. So we get a fatal four-way. I'm here thinking to myself, since when Ricochet and AJ Styles can make matches? Are they the fucking general manager of Raw? No. So why the fuck is Ricochet and AJ Styles making matches? I don't know. We get a fatal four-way number one contenders match. Randy Orton versus Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre versus Rey Mysterio. Now, I'm here thinking to myself, Rey got destroyed last night by Brock Lesnar. Yeah, Orton, Ricochet, and Drew McIntyre losing last night. All four members of this fatal four-way match lost last night. So that warrants them a shot at competing for an opportunity at the US title? Who books this shit? Who the fuck books this shit? Like, hello? Asuka Black, hello? Anybody there? No. Who the fuck writes this shit? How'd you have all four members in this fatal four-way match lose their matches last night, yet they want to come to a random edition of Raw in Chicago the night after Survivor Series, competing for an opportunity at the United States Championship? You see, this is why in AEW Dynamite, wins and losses matter. This is why. You lose last night at the Survivor Series, you come to Raw the next night competing for a shot at the US title. Tell me on what planet that makes sense. Donde? Where? Now, again, I'm here thinking to myself, Orton, we've already seen Orton and Styles already, so we can't see that. We've already seen Ricochet and AJ Styles. Nobody wants to see another one of those matches. Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles, too big for Monday Night Raw. So you got to go with Rey. So you have to go with Rey Mysterio. And guess what? Rey wins. Rey rolls up Ricochet for the 3 count. There was a point in this matchup what really had me laughing. McIntyre and Orton come face to face and talk trash. Drew chops the chest of Orton, who bends down to recover. I would not want to take a fucking chop block from Drew McIntyre or from anybody else on the fucking main roster. Especially Walter. Randy fires one back, but McIntyre laughs it off. Then chops Orton with thunder. McIntyre screams, "Come on, show me what kind of man you are." So Orton pokes him in the eye. Typical fucking heel that Randy Orton was. It was so fucking funny. That was one of the best spots all show. That was one of the best parts of the entire show. Between that little altercation between Orton and McIntyre. Just fantastic there. So Rey wins. Mysterio springboards at Ricochet but gets caught. He then hits the ropes and leaps onto Ricochet but gets caught again. This time Styles, or should I say Mysterio, rolls up Ricochet and gets the 3 count. So Rey wins. He becomes the number 1 contender for the US title. Turns out the match is happening right after. So Rey is going to compete twice in one night. AJ seems happy about the outcome of the match, feeling confident because he did see Rey and Brock go at it last night, and Brock completely fucked up Rey Mysterio. So AJ's confident that he can beat Rey. So the U.S. title will take place after the commercial break. And then we get the match of the night. And what many people are saying is the match of the night. We get AJ versus Rey for the U.S. title. This was the matchup of the night. Not gonna lie to you. Now, my only negative about this, Rey just came out of a WWE Championship match last night. Yeah, he's competing for the U.S. title the next night. Then, this came up in my head all of a sudden, that Rey's contract is expiring. And JD mentioned it on Twitter, and I just seen it, and it hit me like a fucking epiphany. Oh shit, I forgot. Rey's contract is expiring. He can opt out of his contract after 18 months. He signed a 2-year deal with World Wrestling Entertainment. Vince said that Rey can opt out after 18 months if Rey doesn't like what he's seeing or what he's being booked on Monday Night Raw. If he doesn't like the way he's being treated after 18 months, he can opt out and leave the company. So, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind while this match is happening. Keep that in mind. So the OC gets kicked out. They get ejected from ringside. Typical heel one-on-one. You distract the referee while the other one fucks up the fucking challenger. The referee catches both of you. Kick them out. Typical heel one-on-one. Typical heel one-on-one. So you got Rey versus AJ, literally one-on-one. Rey and AJ one-on-one. AJ lifts Rey, looks for the Styles Clash, but Rey counters and hits a sunset bomb for a near fall. Rey hits AJ with a springboard hurricanrana onto the ropes, followed by 619, but Styles bumped into the referee after he took the fucking hit from the 619. Rey goes for the pin, but the referee is out, so out come the OC to pound Mysterio. Randy Orton comes back out and fights Gallows on the ramp, then tosses Anderson into the barricade. Orton runs into the ring and AJ leaps for the phenomenal form, but misses Orton and gets dropped into the middle rope by Rey. 619 from Mysterio, followed by an RKO from Randy. Mysterio goes up top rope and hits a frog splash for the pinfall and wins the United States Championship. Watching this match, the ending was fantastic. The ending was absolutely fantastic. I love the ending. The last 5 to 10 minutes into this matchup, fantastic. The crowd started to pick up when Rey hit the senton on AJ, followed by the head scissors. That's when the crowd started to get hyped up there. I'm guessing now Orton is now a babyface. I guess he's turned face. He turned babyface. Orton was a heel. Now he's the babyface now. Obviously with Rollins turning heel tonight, quote unquote. Orton turned babyface. Now this makes Kevin Owens the biggest babyface on Monday Night Raw. Which I'm okay with at the end of the day. Which I am okay with. So Rey wins the U.S. title. Remember how I said that Rey can opt out of his contract after 18 months? There's a reason why, folks, he won the U.S. title tonight. There's a reason why Rey won the U.S. title. It's because in case Vince can re-sign Rey, if Rey wants to stay in the company, he can opt out of his current deal and talk a new contract with Vince. You're not going to sit there and mistreat Rey Mysterio. Especially when Rey is one of the greatest match wrestlers of all time. Rey is the greatest underdog of all time. And it showed tonight, and it showed last night. Rey is no question, without a doubt, the greatest underdog in wrestling history. Outside of Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30. Outside of that. But this was great. This was the match of the night. Rey wins the U.S. title. Now, with Rey winning the U.S. title, Vince hopes and prays that Rey doesn't opt out of his contract, goes to AEW, Rey can opt out of his contract and talk a new deal with Mr. Vince McMahon himself. At the end of the day, the match was great. It was good for what it was. Rey won the U.S. title in what I thought was the match of the night. Rey's son Dominic comes out to celebrate with him after the big title win. Tony Caruso is joined backstage by Mr. Kevin Owens himself, who is just takes the microphone. Owens says he heard every word Seth Rollins said earlier tonight, that everyone should strive to be better. More like him. Nobody wants to be like Seth Rollins. No one does. Maybe Soda Pop does, but nobody else. Owens says the biggest difference between him and Seth is that he has known who he is since the day he laced up a pair of boots. Owens says he is the same man who walked in the door of World Wrestling Entertainment, and he hasn't changed at any turn. Rollins, though, has been and done everything he thinks the company has needed or wanted. All that has done, however, is turned Seth into a whiny prick. I would have called Rollins a crybaby bitch, but you know how that goes. He calls Seth Mr. CrossFit, or Owens should have called Seth Rollins Mr. Clown. Mr. Clown. And says that Stunner earlier tonight was just the beginning. Tonight, he turns Monday Night Rollins into the Kevin Owens show. Which I love. I love Mr. Kevin Owens. We get Charlotte versus Asuka. Now, my honest opinion on this matchup. This match took too long. This match took too fucking long. The match, listen, don't get me wrong. The match wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It's just the fact how Asuka won the match. That just bothers me. Yeah, the match is good. Don't get me wrong. The match is good. I understand that Asuka's a heel. And she has to play up to that character. That I understand. But do you really need the Green Mist to win every single match? No, you don't. Asuka is just that dominant. Listen, if we would have got NXT Asuka, she would have dominated fucking Charlotte Flair all over Chicago. She would have fucking blasted the shit out of fucking Charlotte like a dominant force like she was back in NXT. But no, she's a heel. And that I can understand. That is something I can appreciate. But the fact that she used the Green Mist to win this match tonight, how is that going to look for Asuka when she's going to be in a potential feud with Becky Lynch? Now, I had somebody tweet me on Twitter saying, oh, it's going to be a tag team feud. Asuka and Kairi Sane have no other tag teams to go up against. And it was rumored, I believe at some point during the summer, that Becky was going to feud with both Kairi Sane and Asuka at the same time. Meanwhile, we have Asuka and Kairi Sane as women's tag team champions. That I don't mind. I would love to see a Kairi Sane Becky Lynch match. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing another Asuka Becky Lynch match, which they did back at the fucking Royal Rumble. I don't mind that at all. The match that Asuka and Becky Lynch had back at the Rumble was fantastic. Was one of the best women's matches all year. I wouldn't mind if we get another Asuka Becky match. Hopefully we get that at TLC. Hopefully we do. But the one thing that bothered me while watching this matchup, A, the match took too long. B, you have fucking Asuka using the fucking Green Mist to win a match. No, at this point now, I'd rather have Asuka get rid of the Green Mist. She doesn't need it. She doesn't need it. That's just in my opinion. I don't think Asuka needs it. Don't get me wrong. Asuka is very good in the ring. Don't get me wrong. She's fantastic in the ring. Don't get me wrong. But why would she use the Green Mist to win a match here? That I have no idea. So Asuka drops Charlotte for a near fall. Then heads to the top rope and misses a crossbody. Charlotte attempts natural selection, but Asuka dodges it and applies a triangle submission. Charlotte slowly reverses the triangle into a Boston Crab. Asuka gets to the ropes, and Charlotte kicks her in the face. Charlotte attacks Asuka's left knee in the corner, but gets caught with a head kick. Charlotte hits a spear for a near fall. Kairi Sane returns to cause a distraction, and this time Charlotte runs and catches her. Typical babyface syndrome. Flair throws Sane into the ring post. Flair gets Asuka into the ring, and Sane distracts the referee, allowing Asuka to hit Charlotte with the poison mist for the roll-up against the 1, 2, 3. Again, you're going to use the Green Mist on Charlotte. You're not going to use it on Becky Lynch. I'm not for sure. Yeah, you can use it on freaking anybody else on the Raw Women's Division, but you're not going to use it on Becky Lynch. And people, did you notice we didn't even get Becky Lynch tonight? We didn't even get Becky Lynch at all tonight in the show. Was she needed, in my honest opinion? No. So Asuka wins. She picks up a victory over Charlotte, and She gets a victory back from not only the SmackDown Women's Title match back in the spring, with 2 weeks after WrestleMania, back at WrestleMania 34. Asuka gets a victory back over Charlotte. There you go. I love how Charlotte mentioned the fact that she beat Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Title back in March, I believe. I think it was 2 weeks before WrestleMania. And I love how the fact that Charlotte brought up the fact that she beat Asuka to end her undefeated streak at WrestleMania last year. I just love that attention to detail right there. I just love that there. You see, little shit like that, that's something I can appreciate. That is something right there that I can appreciate so much. So Asuka picks up a victory over Charlotte Flair. We get Erick Rowan backstage. He's back out for a match against a jobber. And he has this weird animal cage thing. I didn't watch this. I was playing on my Switch at this point. I didn't really care. Erick Rowan goes one-on-one with Kyle Roberts. I wonder who won that match. If you picked Erick Rowan, ding, 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 ding. You're 100% correct. AJ Styles is backstage with the OC and is visibly upset. Sarah Schreiber asks him what's going through his mind, and Styles can't utter a word. He bites his fist before saying Randy Orton. So I'm guessing we're going to get a AJ Styles Randy Orton feud on Monday Night Raw. Great. We've seen this back at WrestleMania. What makes you think I want to see it again? What makes you think I want to see it again? We see a replay of earlier tonight when Rusev attacked Bobby Lashley and got arrested. Lana joins Charlie Caruso backstage and says Rusev is a danger to society at large. She says she has got multiple restraining orders, but he's obsessed with her. But who can blame him? She says World Wrestling Entertainment has no choice but to fire Rusev, but she assures us she's handling it and she's going to be okay. I wonder why she mentioned that. Oh, is it at a point where Rusev's contract is expiring? Which is why she mentioned that? I don't know. I don't care about the storyline. Let me say this now about Rusev. If Rusev was to re-sign with WWE, I swear to God, I'm going to lose all types of respect for Rusev. Rusev is an incredible performer. He is great in the ring. When it comes to him as a heel, he can cut a fucking promo. If he re-signs with WWE, I swear on everything that I fucking love, I will lose so much respect for Rusev, it's not even funny anymore. It's really getting to that point. So Rollins makes his entrance. He will face Kevin Owens in the main event after the commercial break. We finally get to the main event. Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. This match was... Didn't really care for this match. I was just waiting for the end here. Owens tries to stun her again, but misses and hits with a super kick, but Owens comes back with one of his own. Rollins with an enziguri, followed by Avila Cadavera. I don't know how you call that. Forgive me, I apologize for that. Seth hits the ropes for the stomp, but gets hit with the stunner. The others of Pain come out and stand between Seth and Owens in the middle of the ring. KO hits Akam, and both AOP beat on Owens. Rollins win, though obviously KO wins by DQ. KO wins by disqualification. Akam and Razor pound on Owens, throwing him in the ring post over and over and over again. The fans are chanting bullshit as if nothing but a clean finish is acceptable these days. Akam hits Owens' head against the barricade. Then Akam lifts Owens and throws him at Razor, who knees him. AOP turn their attention to Rollins and he tells them to come on. Then they turn and leave. Rollins watches them leave, then takes the opportunity to hit KO with the stomp. Then another. He berates Owens as the show comes to a close. From there, Raw goes off the air. Is Rollins the heel? That's what people are going to ask. Is Seth Rollins the heel at this point? Yeah. They went at it in a very, very different way. I was expecting, a low blow. I was expecting something personal to happen. But we got an answer. Rollins turned heel. With Rollins now turning heel, KO now is the biggest babyface of Monday Night Raw. KO is the biggest babyface of Monday Night Raw. The other question I'm going to ask here is AOP aligning themselves with Seth Rollins? I think so. I don't know how this is going to come up. This obviously got us tuning in to Raw next week. Honestly, this got us tuning in to watch Raw next week. But I don't know. Maybe they do end up being a cohesive unit. Maybe they made a faction with Rollins and AOP's Akam and Razor. I don't know. They look dominant in their match tonight against Curt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. They look dominant. But you bring them back, not only to have them in a tag team match, but you put them in a role with Seth Rollins. Now, the only positive about that is they got shine in the main event of the show. They got some shine in the main event of the show. They got featured on the main event of the show. So I don't mind. I love the AOP. Don't get me wrong. But let's see what happens next week. Because now this got us watching Raw next week. That's for damn sure. They got us watching Raw next week. Oh, is Rollins the heel? Oh, is KO the biggest babyface on the roster? Oh, is Rollins aligning himself with the AOP? We gotta find out next week. They got us tuning in to watch Raw next week. This is something that they haven't done all year. Since WrestleMania season. They got us tuning in to Raw next week. I wonder how the ratings are going to be on this show. We'll find out tomorrow night. Other than that, folks, other than AJ versus Rey and that little altercation between Orton and McIntyre, what else happened on the show tonight? Nothing. I was just thinking, throughout the show, Chicago was waiting for Dynamite on Wednesday night in the Sears Center, watching Chris Jericho and Scorpio Sky go at it for the AEW World Championship. That's what I got coming out of the show. That's what I got coming out of the crowd. This show had no vibe, it had no entertainment, nothing. The best match of the entire show was AJ and Rey for the US title. That's it. We got some returns. We got Matt Hardy coming back. We got AOP coming back. The continuation between fucking Rusev, Lana, and Lashley. Who cares? This was just a bland episode of Raw. Honestly. This is a show. This is the show you want to give me after last night? After Survivor Series? You want to give me this show? After what you gave me last night after Survivor Series? This is the best you can come up with? Do better, folks. Please do better. Do better, creative. And that, folks, is the reality of things right here on Monday Night Raw review right here on the Reality Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoy Raw review, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys thought of Raw. Also, if you are new to the channel, if you're visiting the channel for the first time and you're watching this video for the first time and you enjoy what you see, show your support. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those guys for all notifications. Survivor Series review is live on the channel right now, as well as NXT review and AEW Dynamite review. All these videos will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you guys are following me on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, Chris was hated. And like I said, folks, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to show your support. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those balls, guys, for all notifications. I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT TakeOver War Games review tomorrow. Listen, my honest opinion. NXT TakeOver War Games, in my honest opinion, was one of the best takeovers I've ever seen. One of the greatest takeovers I've ever seen. Now, I will give you guys my opinion on TakeOver tomorrow. The show is fantastic on Saturday night. The show is fantastic. I thought NXT TakeOver was a great show. It was the highlight of the entire weekend. TakeOver was great. We're going to review it tomorrow right here on the channel. Till then, I am Chris. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media. I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT TakeOver War Games review. Till then, I'm Chris. Talk to you guys later.